Hey guys, it's Skim Bradsteen. Well, I just tried to upload a video and it kind of did an epic fail. It said, "We cannot find your video," after I recorded it on YouTube. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll record this again. So I'm redoing this, not on YouTube. I'm doing this on my iPod, fourth touch, whatever. Anyways. First off, I want to start with this. This is a shout out to Kinzi. I want to say thank you for standing up to people for Nickelback, because Nickelback is amazing. I love Nickelback. They're my second favorite top bands that I've been a fan of forever. And after I wrote that comment on there, I went and used that and created a poem out of it. So I'm going to read that right now. Let me find it. It's called Truth. So, and what I did with it is I took the titles of their songs and it inspired me to write it, and I just put them together and kept taking titles, and this is what came of it. So this is Truth, and I hope you like it. If everyone cared and weren't so far away from standing together and losing their ways, we'd have a generation that wouldn't throw themselves away and be somebody someday. They should have listened when we figured you out, that when we found you flat on the floor, drunk and poor, that when we picked you up and you said you wouldn't do this anymore, that it was just a lie to bide the time so you could run away again just to get high. Feeling way too damn good to care, we decided, believe it or not, that because of you, we'd never again pick you up. That is truth. And the next time you come by and decide to give up and begin to try, I'll always be here, right here, to sing you a lullaby. And yeah, again, that was inspired by Nickelback and what I wrote in that comment. I don't know, it seemed to work out. I tried to incorporate what each song meant. So, I took the meanings of each one and tried to clash them all together in a way that systematically worked in unity. So, there's that. I hope you like that one. The next one I have for you is called She Had Blue Eyes. She had blue eyes, standing next to the candy aisle, staring back at me in a distant smile. Her stare makes me go wild. What I wouldn't do to take her home for a while. I walk up. She says, "I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?" "I'm doing fine." "That's great. I'll text you in a while." Then that's when I knew she was the one. That blue-eyed stare was the one I'd want forever, staring back at me. And that's the end of that one. I'm gonna move through these pretty fast tonight. The next one is called At Night. At night alone I cry to sleep, a burden drenched on silk-white sheets. The darkness once mine now turns on me, binding my thoughts in insanity. Tonight I lay awake, unable to sleep, faithless mind now churning thoughts. Tonight's the night I get knocked off. I fear the end, I fear the night. I see it coming, I see the knife. I hear the screams, I hear my wife. I know tonight I'll surely die. Then I wake up, and I know I've just had a bad night. I rub my eyes and get out of bed, look outside, and see Ed. I open the window, shout, "Hey!" He says, "Nice morning." I say, "Nice day." I fasten the window, go downstairs. My wife's already up, and to me, bewildered, she stares. I look around and see breakfast done. I grab my coffee and sit down. "You want one?" A biscuit she passes. I glance and say no thanks. "Dear, last night I heard you scream." I look up and back at her, frightened, and these said things. "Don't worry, dear, it was only just a dream." Alright, I'm going to go on to the next one. And this one's for all the doomsdayers out there. It's called The World is Ending. It was clear to me that all these subtleties were a prodigy to deceive. When gravity falls, we all fall too. The ground becomes our forsaken rooms. The dust clouds up, the wounded fall and die. The rest that live are the ones that will survive. The rocks will fly up way in the sky, leaving our atmosphere and us behind. What is left is lakes of water, mountains of lava that now smolder over. The earth will die, and us with it. We need a favor decision to live this through. And that one's the end of that one. I had an idea of an apocalyptic end, and my mind was just flooded with all these ideas, and I hurried up and had to write that down. Alright, here's more of a romantic one. It started with a kiss and ended with this. The torment, the angst, the passion for days won't go unnoticed from where she lays. She died in her sleep from what we thought was disease. I unharmed wept for years. The love of my life gone from less than suicide. The way of the land took her from me. Cold, dead, heartless is what the world can be. My heart is torn from my chest. Nothing can save it, not even a bulletproof vest. She's gone, and I here left to move on. Where do you go after a once-in-a-lifetime love? Our last moments we spent together went slow as we caressed each other. Her hands, my lips, her tongue, we kissed. Her back, it arched as I rolled my index finger down her spine. Holding her in my arms, she was like an angel, and she was all mine. The touch, the suck, the sinking in, all these years, and she finally decided to give me a spin. A glance, a tear, the slightest touch. She moaned, she grabbed, she clawed so much. Rabid and wild, we spent the night making passionate love. Waking up beside her was something I always dreamed of. Now I see my dreams come true, but her not here to see it all fall through. Damn, baby, I really love you. And that one's kind of a sad one about a fiance losing his girlfriend and him left to move on, and he was reminiscing about all the times they spent together and the last time they spent together. And I got another one. It's called Sparkle in Your Eye. It's another romantic poem, which, like I said, is my specialty. I love romance. It's one of my favorite things to write about. So this is all for you guys. I love to be the sparkle in your eye, the one that holds you when you cry, lays with you through the night, and never leaves without kissing you good night. I love the way you look at me, so soft and sweet, and when I see your beautiful eyes, I just melt from the inside. You've had my heart since we said hello. From that moment on, I've needed to let you know I love you. Like I said, this is a poem I wrote a few months back when I first came to thoughts.com, and I wanted to share this all over again with all of you guys. I have one more, and then I'll leave off for tonight. This is a short story I'm writing. It was supposed to have been just a short story, and it ended up turning into a short story poem, but I think I'm just going to leave the beginning of it as a poem, and the rest of it's going to be the short story, because it seemed to really create the image that I'm trying to create for it. So this one is called The World in the Beginning. It was dark, pitch black you might say, no creatures yet living, nor human of any kind. This world was dark, not even alive. In the beginning there was only bits of water here and there, mountains that was vast, but scarce and rare, a planet 1,000 light years away, dying of a disease that's said to be vague. When one last hope of survival, they sent out their DNA into an asteroid they intricately made. They shot it off with clouds of dust that left them in a haze. Off into the sky it went and away. They cheered and clapped because they would survive, even though on this planet they were destined to die. Several thousand years later, a planet that was dark and bleak, an asteroid came down, a pummeling. It bursts into flames as it enters the atmosphere. In one intense explosion, a world now is dominated by creatures unlike any in galaxies, and humans now exist on this tiny planet called Nebular Golem. Okay, I left off right there. I haven't written any more for it. This is a sci-fi fiction, utopia, dystopia, mystery novel, and this one's going to take me some time because I have an image in my mind that I've been creating for the last 4 or 5 nights, and I'm trying to pull it out piece by piece, and I'm trying to make the imagery so perfect. But yeah, I will finish that sometime. As with all the other stuff I've written. But, well, anyways, I'm sorry it's so late that I've been getting to this blog. I went out to my best friend Matt and Janie's. I hung out there, watched them play Call of Duty. That was interesting. It was hilarious. Today's been a really good day. I've also been out shooting photography, which you'll see on my blog and on Facebook, and I'll post it on Twitter later tonight. So, anyways, that is it for me tonight, guys. Have a wonderful night. This has been Skim.